Travel with me 21 hours from Toronto to China, let's go. Luckily, my flight was at 12 p.m., so we didn't actually end up leaving till around 9 a.m. So the reason we're going to China is actually for my brother's wedding. His wife's family pretty much all lives there, so that's why we're having it there. But this is mine and my parents' first time to China, so it will be an adventure for sure. Anyways, we made it past security super quick, so we went to go find our gate and then ended up going to Starbucks, and I got myself a bacon egg Gouda sandwich, which I absolutely love. We then finally boarded the plane, and this first flight is 14 hours. We're actually flying from Toronto to Korea, and we're actually taking Korean Air, which I've never taken before. But the one thing we love about a long flight is that they give you like a pillow, blanket, water, shoes, like the whole shabam. We love to see it. And then once I'm all settled, of course the first thing I have to do is figure out what movies I'm going to be watching on this flight. And then I'm sure this is only on certain planes, but why have I never seen this before? Essentially, there's like cameras on like the front and the bottom of the plane, and so you can see the view like as you're taking off, which I thought was super cool. But anyways, we're off and we have 13 hours and 55 minutes to our destination. And then obviously because it was 12 in the afternoon, I couldn't sleep, so I ended up watching some movies. The first one I watched is Twisters. I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while, and it was actually really good. And then before I knew it, it was lunchtime. Another thing I love about these overseas flights is that they serve you meals. This one actually served us 2 meals, but the first meal I had was a smoked salmon bibimbap. Obviously a Korean meal. It was pretty good. The only thing is I'm not a huge spicy person, and so I didn't put the spicy sauce on, so because of that, didn't have that much flavor, but that's my fault. A few hours into the flight, they turn off the lights because a lot of people try to go to sleep, but because it still was a night for me, I just couldn't fall asleep, so I actually ended up editing some videos. And about halfway through the flight, they came back with a snack, and the snack was like a pizza pocket. Let me tell you, this was probably the best meal. I don't know why, I just really liked it. It was very cheesy. Big fan. After a few hours, I closed my laptop and wanted to attempt to try to sleep, but I wanted to put on like a light show just like in the background to kind of help me fall asleep, so I ultimately went with The Office. Spoiler alert, I wasn't able to go to sleep, so I ended up putting on He's Just Not That Into You. It's one of my favorite movies, so I watched the full thing through. Then I ended up taking a washroom break because, you know, you have to go at least once during a 14-hour flight. 3 hours left to the flight, I kind of just accepted that I wasn't going to be able to go to sleep. And then shortly after, they ended up putting on the lights to serve the second meal. For this meal, I went with the Western option, which was mac and cheese, and honestly, I liked it. I then also got myself a coffee because I was starting to feel the tiredness, but I still couldn't fall asleep, so I ended up watching Crazy Rich Asians. I know we weren't going to Singapore, but close enough, it kind of matched the vibe. And then before we knew it, it was 11 minutes to landing, so I was starting to get really excited. One reason why I'm a window girl through and through is because I just love watching the landing process, like seeing all the little buildings and stuff. I don't know, it's really cute. But we finally made it to Korea, hallelujah. It was about like 5 p.m. when we landed here, so it was pretty bright, so it kind of woke me up a little bit. And then we had a 4-hour layover, so I ended up actually going to the Starbucks in Korea because they had like different types of drinks there. So I got one that was like a yogurt and strawberry. It was kind of like a frappuccino, but not exactly. And then again, I couldn't go to sleep, so I ended up just editing some more videos, and I got a lot of